Hello and welcome to an early morning episode of Three Things with Vim. I am Troy, your host. It is early. But you can learn three things in Vim. And if you put a sticky note up on your monitor and you try them out a few times, you'll learn them. You'll learn more and more. Step 1, moving. First of all, know that Vim is what's called a modal editor. That means it has two basic modes. The insert mode, which is basically notepad mode, and then normal mode, which is the powerful mode. So, to get into insert mode, we press I for insert. And from here, we can move around just like notepad. Get things in, type stuff, change things, hit enter, basic stuff. But all of that is slow. Getting out of insert mode gets you back into normal mode, and you can do that by hitting escape. So we go into insert mode, moving things around, hit escape, and we're back into normal mode. And in normal mode's where the real power is. You knew this was coming. JHKL as arrow keys. Just get sticky notes, put arrows on them, and tape them right onto the keys. JHKL is faster, and you just got to learn it. And the best way to learn it is to block your arrow keys so that you cannot use them anymore. And any of these would work. You're changing your up key down into no op, which means no operation, I think. Or you can make it yell stop at you when you do it. Either way, what you're trying to do is get away from the arrow keys, because that's your first big step. You can practice this by going to Vim Adventures or by learning to play NetHack if you're super elite. But once you have those arrow keys down, you might notice I am in normal mode. And you can see from the keystrokes that are coming up here that I'm navigating using those JHKL keys. But that's not really that efficient anyways. You're not moving your hand, yeah, but I'm still going. It's silly. So what we are going to do is learn our first motion. Yay. First couple motions. These are very simple. W is word, B is backward. So, when I am in normal mode, which is the non-insert mode, and again, to get into insert mode, hit I. To get out of it, hit escape. And now I have this cursor that I can move around with JHKL. Again, slow. But what I can do is use these guys. Word and backward. Very simple. When I hit W for word, my cursor moves what Vim considers a word forward. Word, 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 word. Word to your mother. So we can see we're skipping letters, we're moving across words, we're still going into punctuation, but we're getting places. And B is basically the opposite. Just backward. So, going from this line right here, in ode to the beginning of the Lin. Well, that's not right. Let me just go into insert mode and error. E. Well, that sucked. So, what we're going to do instead of that is do word. Much better. Insert mode. E. But you know what's even better than that? Capital A. Append. Escape. Much faster. And you know what? In ode, that doesn't look right. So I'm still at the end of the line. So I'll go to the beginning of the line by typing caret. CW, again I'm in normal mode, change word, and that looks much better. an ode to the beginning of the line. And let's put a period at the end of that. Here's a new one. Hit E to go to the end of the line, or end of the word. Append dot. So this kind of motion is very helpful for you. Just moving your cursor around faster than just pressing your arrow key over and over again. Even if it is JHKL, which is faster, you're still pressing the same key when there's lots more options available. Notice when you get here, when you're doing words, it gets stuck up on the punctuation. That might be what you're going for, but if it's not, you can do big words, which is capital W and capital B. And it skips more things. I've just hit capital K, which opened up the help file, which is super cool. And you can't figure out how to get out of it. It's Control WQ. Like I said, one step at a time. For the amount of times that I've fat-fingered something while learning Vim and then went, I don't know where I am or what I'm doing, so I'm just going to close Vim and start over. It happens a lot. And you wind up learning things slowly over time. But we're focusing on 3 steps. We've got movement. We've got word and backword. And we've got insert mode and escape to normal mode. So that'll help you move around a bit faster. Word and backword. That's all you got to remember for today, just to get started. Next section, pasting. Yes, pasting is supported. Just think of copy as yank and paste as put, or paste, I guess. It starts with the same, you know what I mean. But in order to copy things, we're going to use the dreaded mouse, and I apologize. But we can click and drag. We're just getting started here. We're using the mouse. It might be alright for now. Yeah. We're going to add to this a little bit. Just hold on to your hats. It'll be amazing. And I hit Y to yank. And now I've yanked that into what's essentially a clipboard. Now I can go somewhere else and go P to put, or paste. And it puts that thing. You see me? I'm using arrows. I'm using words. And we're going to add to this real quick by taking a quick jump into visual mode. This is where things get a little bit more comfortable. Drag your arrow across here and you enter visual mode automatically. But since you now know how to move stuff around, you don't have to do that, because we're in normal mode right now, and I can use my word and my backword. But we're going to introduce V. Very exciting. That's what V stands for. Hit V, and now it says visual mode. So exciting. Now hit word and backward. Whoa! You're visually highlighting things, just like in Notepad with your mousy mouse. Look at that. Amazing. Once you visually select these things or highlight them, you can do the same things. Y to yank and P to paste. You can also do this over different sections. I take now and hit yank, and I take lazy and hit paste. I've copied over it, so I can overwrite these things. And by the same token, just like capital W is big word, capital V is big visual selection. Capital V gives you lines. So I can take an entire line of a function and say yank, and I want to make a new one, paste, and I've got that exact same function. Now I want to go to Joel and change him to Peter. Yank, back. Put Joel. Ooh, what just happened there? You'll figure it out later on, but once you visually select something the first time, it automatically copies it into the buffer, the clipboard. So if I visually select this and hit yank, and then I visually select this and hit put, it's going to put Peter in there, but since Joel is visually selected, it copies Joel to the clipboard. So, visual is what helps you out in these copy pasting things. It's very good stuff. So now you can copy and you can paste. And again, you can use your mouse, mousey mouse. Yank. One thing I like to do is change visual mode selection enter to be copied to the clipboard. But how are we going to copy to our system clipboard with our computers or our Mac or our Windows or whatever? Usually, and I say usually because you might have to Google this, usually this register, the plus register, works. So remember how I said it copies to a clipboard? Pretty much, basically, kind of. It copies to, you have as many keys as you have clipboards. So you can save each thing to different clipboards and recall them as many times as you want. The plus is generally the system keyboard. So when you hit this, it saves to the plus clipboard, and that may all seem very complicated to you. But all you got to remember is this, and any of these commands you can type directly into, go into normal mode by hitting escape over and over forever. And then type in colon, which brings you to command mode, and then type in the command vmap cr, this weird combination of letters, and now you can copy to your clipboard by highlighting things with your mouse or with your visual mode, word, back, and hitting enter. And now I can go to Notepad and hit paste. Ooh, look at that. Copying back from the system clipboard. Copy. You can do paste from the. This probably doesn't work. You probably want to do like that. That would make Control V into the thing. It's early. Like I said, normal mode. What did I say? Yeah. This would make Control V into a paste. And if you're in a GVIM, you can right click and just click paste. That's easy enough. So now you can move data to and from around in your OS, copy things to clipboards and out of clipboards, and move around via words and HJKL. Really heavy plug on that Vim Adventures. It's great fun to get started with, and it definitely gets you HJKL. You'll learn it. We are intelligent beings with wonderful brains that allow us to learn cool things because we have the ability. Also, quick one. Undo. I'm writing all these things in insert mode. I hit escape, and I can hit undo by hitting U. And then redo is Control R. And Vim has infinite undos. Like, seriously. So, I mean, just for that, it's a huge deal. This has been too early, and I'm probably not going to do any of these again. If you want me to, let me know. I hope this made some semblance of sense.